Friday, December 6, Further Thought. When Jesus said, "I am the light of the world," he was, as we read in The Desire of Ages, page 463 and 464, in the court of the temple, specially connected with the services of the Feast of Tabernacles. In the centre of this court rose two lofty standards, supporting lampstands of great size. After the evening sacrifice, all the lamps were kindled, shedding their light over Jerusalem. This ceremony was in commemoration of the pillar of light that guided Israel in the desert, and was also regarded as pointing to the coming of the Messiah. At evening, when the lamps were lighted, the court was a scene of great rejoicing. In the illumination of Jerusalem, the people expressed their hope of the Messiah's coming to shed his light upon Israel. But to Jesus, the scene had a wider meaning. As the radiant lamps of the temple lighted up all about them, so Christ, the source of spiritual life, illuminates the darkness of the world. Yet the symbol was imperfect. That great light, which his own hand had set in the heavens, was a truer representation of the glory of his mission. It was morning. The sun had just risen above the Mount of Olives, and its rays fell with dazzling brightness on the marble palaces, and lighted upon the gold of the temple walls, when Jesus, pointing to it, said, "I am the light of the world." End of quote. And that brings us to our two discussion questions for this week. 1. In class, talk about your answer to Thursday's final question. What crucial truths taught by the Bible could we never, even in principle, learn from science? For example, the cross, or the resurrection, or the second coming. What other important biblical truths must be revealed to us? Otherwise, we would never know them. And question 2. Think about the fall of Lucifer, a perfect being with so much intellectual knowledge of God and of what God is like. And yet, even with all that, he rebelled against him. What does this tell us about the reality of free will? The same free will that we have. And why, moment by moment, we need to choose to surrender that will to God.
For further reading, The Upward Look, Where's Your Treasure, page 355, and Our High Calling, Almost Home, page 367.
And reading our inside story, our mission story for this week is Sibylla Harrold. Thank you, Sibylla.
Gift to a Well-Dressed Woman by Andrew McChesney. A well-dressed woman drove her car into the parking garage of the Seventh-day Adventist Church's Upper Magdalena Conference in Bogota, Colombia. "Are you Christians?" she asked the parking attendant. "Yes," replied 52-year-old Ruben Campos. "Which religion are you?" she asked. "We are Seventh-day Adventists," he said. "Can we help you?" "Someone told me that Adventists don't like to help others," she said. Ruben was surprised. "Let us help you," he said. "We're ready to serve." The woman asked if she could park her car in the church parking garage. Her apartment was nearby, but it didn't have any parking, and she didn't feel safe leaving her car in the street at night. "Yes, you can park here," Ruben said. "How much would it cost?" she asked. "It won't cost you anything," Ruben said. "It will be our gift to you." "Thank you," the woman exclaimed. "Can I give you a hug?" That night, the woman left her car in the parking garage. She returned the next night. On the third night, she asked Ruben for a Bible. Then the two started studying the Bible. Ruben brought her a chair, and he sat in the booth as they studied. After a month, the woman said she wanted to introduce Ruben to her husband. She called from her cell phone. "It's with him that I'm studying the Bible, and I want to be baptized," she said. The woman's husband was a senior Colombian military officer, and he was on a temporary assignment abroad. He told Ruben that he also wanted Bible studies. "We can start when I return to Colombia," he said. Ruben may have seen the happiest parking attendant in Colombia when the woman was baptized in a Seventh-day Adventist church in Bogota. He is now waiting for her husband to return to the country for Bible studies. Jesus engaged in mission outreach by serving others. He said, "The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve," as in Matthew 20, verse 28, New King James Version. Reuben is seeking to follow his example. "We can have an impact on many lives if we only serve," said Reuben, who has worked as a parking attendant for 8 years. Somebody could come to you soon. You have to be ready to serve no matter who or where that person is. Thank you for your 13th Sabbath offering that helped 2 mission outreach projects in Colombia last quarter.
And remember, God is always faithful.